And if we now bounce back from there into both of your marketing strategies when you were going global, both of the companies have been widely represented all around the globe. Can you give us some very unique examples in it? Let's try to dive deeper into, let's say, when you're trying to market your games in Asia versus Latin America. Has then everything been done in the same way? Or Peter, you mentioned earlier that you need to still go local in terms of certain strategies when you try to penetrate a certain host country, let's say in Chile versus China. Any examples on how were you experimenting and getting things moving on different parts of the world simultaneously?
Yeah, again, for us, it was not just about the game; it was about building the brand. We did a lot of different like activities, different countries. But I mean, just like for example, taking China, we did a big update to the game featuring kind of like the Moon Festival in China. And okay, everybody knows about Chinese New Year, but then because we did this Moon Festival featuring, like moon cakes, so physical moon cakes, that's like a big thing. Part of that moon and rabbits, and like there's a lot of like this to the story. The kind of like the point there is that first time tens of millions of people outside of China heard about the Moon Festival, and we could always then say that like, hey, not only are we bringing Angry Birds to China, but we're bringing China to the world. And of course, then you always got like standing ovation and like, of course, anybody, if you're taking their, like celebrations and culture, to the rest of the world, of course, people love that. So just like a small example of how you build like support and goodwill in the like local community, in this case, China, by doing kind of global things. And then, we need Angry Birds Space. Of course, we launched it in space on the ISS together with NASA. Don Pettit, the astronaut, was there. He built like a real world Angry Birds game, like on the space station.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Yeah. But we did like a lot of these kind of like things that, again, we did kind of like local events, but then we amplified them using social media kind of to the world. So you had like, we built a lot of super interesting stories that then, people could relate to. And we did many like of these. And this also, I think that what is important to keep in mind here, that again, a lot of these things we did before then kind of like free to play. And like then, of course, you got the Supercells and other companies that then figured out that, hey, like we can buy a lot of users on Facebook for less than, the lifetime value. And then you just like throw money at the problem. And that's kind of like how they built massive like success stories. And I think Supercell is probably like the most successful like games company out there like ever. And they were riding or like surfing this like free to play wave like perfectly. So again, example of this that, like, you have to understand your environment and like what works and all of that. So but yeah, for us, it was about making sure that our brand was in the face of people like, 24/7. So that was kind of like our approach. And we did many things to make it. So then when you saw the brand, you play the game, bought the soft drink, the t-shirt, the funny hat, went to the park, stuff like that. And all using the same brand.
Sure. Is a similar experience for you with etermax?
Yeah, I actually have a couple of experiences that are worth noting. We are an engineer first company, and at that time more. So we didn't make any marketing at all until Sugarcraft was a success. We did it now. So we focused on product, and one of the things we did was like making the question factory better and better, until it worked by itself. And I remember one time we were not popular in Turkey at all, and we started like translating the app to several languages, and we just translated to Turkish, right? Just the app, just the few keys in the app, and we just left it there. And after a few months, we were number one in Turkey, and there was a lot of content there, and people were talking about this new Turkish app that was ours actually. So it's everything. It's about making things happen, and sometimes you go from one side. Sometimes you get great marketing and have good product. Sometimes you can have great product and no marketing. And so I think that in the end is how much or how good you're fixing a problem, which is basically the problem of, in our case, of just hanging out and meeting people, and how you approach to new users. So for a Turkish user, it was like the first real Turkish trivia game, right? Because it was about them with their questions, with their languages. They could be from Turkey.
Yeah.
So it became something very, very, very strong there. I remember being, for example, in an Apple event, and the the woman that was managing press for Apple Canada came and asked me where I was from, and I told her I was from Trivia Crack, and she told me, Trivia Crack? That's a Canadian company, actually. No, it's an Argentinian company, and she thought it was Canadian because the whole product adapts to Canada. So it's again, it's about how you fix a problem and then how you keep that promise with time.